Chapter 3. Traitors, Teachers and Killers. Naruto, Hinata and Fu were walking down a street. They just fished celebrating at Ichiraku Ramen and were now going home. "So how much are we going to reveal?" asked Fu. "Not much. It will be best if we are on the same team, which we probably will. We will reveal some of our powers, but not everything. It depends on which team we are on. If we are on the same team, then we won't need to hide much and tell the sensei about our powers. If we are not, then only tell the sensei if they ask you about it, and if Sakura Haruno or Kiba or the almighty Uchiha is on your team, then don't tell a thing to anyone. It will be a big problem," replied Naruto. Fu nodded with a chuckle. Suddenly, someone bumped into her and ran past them. They turned around to see Mizuki running with a large scroll in his hand. Naruto narrowed his eyes. "That is the scroll of sealing. What is Mizuki doing with it? I don't think he is supposed to have it," said Hinata. "Mizuki is a traitor. Let's go," said Naruto as they ran after him. The trio arrived in the forest to see Iruka facing of Mizuki. "Mizuki, why do you have the scroll of sealing?" asked Iruka. "Isn't it obvious, sensei? He is a traitor," said Naruto as they jumped beside Iruka. "Naruto, Fu, Hinata, what are you doing here?" asked Iruka. "The idiot bumped into us while running, so we followed him," replied Hinata. Iruka nodded. "It doesn't matter. I am a Chunin but you are just Genins. You cannot beat me," said Mizuki.
Naruto's sweat dropped. "I already kicked your ass in the academy. What makes you think I won't do it again?" said Naruto. "Because you are a demon," Mizuki replied. "Ever wonder why all the villagers hate you?" "No, Mizuki. It is forbidden," said Iruka. Before Naruto could respond, Mizuki spoke up again. "It is because the fourth Hokage couldn't kill the nine-tailed fox that attacked 12 years ago, so he sealed the beast inside you. You are the Kyuubi reborn." Mizuki expected Naruto to be shocked and broken down, but nothing happened. His expression remained the same. "You idiotic traitor. I knew that the Kyuubi was sealed inside me ever since I was 5 years old. I am not the Kyuubi. I am just her Jinchuriki. Look at my clothes. I have the kanji for 9 on my back and a fox on my shirt. How did you not notice that?"
Mizuki and Iruka were shocked. "He broke the third's law," said Fu. "You know how to decide," replied Hinata. "Rock, paper, scissors," said the three of Genin. "I win," said Naruto with a big smile on his face. Hinata and Fu pouted. "No fair." "Aw, don't be sad. Next time I won't participate," said Naruto as he went and kissed both his girls on the cheek. "Ah, what are you guys doing?" asked a confused Iruka. "We were deciding who was going to fight him," replied Hinata. "What? You are joking, right?" asked Iruka. Mizuki burst out into laughter. Naruto sighed. "Hinata, Fu, make sure sensei doesn't interfere. I want to have some fun," said Naruto with a glint in his eyes that promised pain. "You can't be serious. You're letting him fight Mizuki alone?" Fu sighed. "He beat Mizuki in the academy, didn't he? And do you really think we would let him fight if we didn't know he could handle it? He is our boyfriend after all. We would never let him get hurt, though there aren't many people who can hurt him." "What exactly do you mean by art? Is he both of your boyfriend? Since when?" Iruka asked with a shocked face. "How did he realize this so late?" "Yes, he has been our boyfriend since 5 years, Hinata replied. Iruka was shocked to say the least. "You mean all this time in the academy it has all been an act?" "Yes. Though he does have crazy energy and inhumane stamina, he is not a loud-mouthed, idiotic brat. He is a very smart and powerful person. We have been living and training with him since Fu came to this village and he saved me from a Kumo Junin that was trying to kidnap me 5 years ago." "You have been living with him? That's a shocker. Wait, why don't you live in the Hyuga compound?" Hinata's expression got darker. "After the kidnapping, Hiashi and the elders branded me with the cage bird seal and banished me from the clan. The next day Naruto and Fu found me and asked me to live with them. I agreed and also confessed to Naruto, and since then, Fu and I started sharing Naruto." Iruka noted that she didn't call Hiashi his father but decided not to ask about it. He quickly wiped a little bit of blood leaking from his nose and asked, "Did he really defeat a Junin at the age of 7 on his own?" "Yes," Fu replied. "How?" "He has certain abilities. After beating Mizuki, the Hokage will probably grill him with questions, so he will probably let you stay since you are one of the few people he trusts." Iruka nodded. Suddenly, Naruto appeared beside them with two clones carrying a bruised, burnt and broken Mizuki. Iruka blinked in surprise. That was quick. What happened? He was talking too much and didn't put up a good fight, so I got bored and ended it, replied Naruto. Take the scroll and let's go to the Hokage office. You have a lot to explain, said Iruka. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly and nodded. At the Hokage office, Sarutobi was reading one of his Icha books when suddenly the door burst open and Naruto and group walked in, carrying Mizuki and the scroll of sealing. Naruto dropped Mizuki on the floor and threw the scroll at the Hokage. Here. The scroll of sealing and the traitor who stole it. You should keep it in a safer place. If this Chunin could steal it, then imagine if Junins try. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow. He snapped his fingers and an Anbu took the unconscious Mizuki away. Explain, demanded the old Hokage. Your 5 years are up and I am sure that this will give me a headache, so I want to sleep it off. Naruto sighed. First tell the Anbus to go and activate the privacy seal. I trust Iruka-sensei so he can stay, and Fu and Hinata already know everything about me. Hiruzen nodded and flicked his hand and all Anbus went out of the room. He then went through some hand signs, activating a privacy seal. Ask whatever you want, said Naruto. How strong are you? Asked Hiruzen. Strong enough to kick Jiraiya's ass back to Mount Myoboku if he peeps on me and my girls. Hiruzen again raised an eyebrow. Your girls? Fu and Hinata. I had a feeling this would happen, and why do you think Jiraiya would peep on you? Firstly, he is a self-proclaimed super pervert. Secondly, if he knows that his godson has 2 girlfriends, there is no way he will not try to peep. Hiruzen's face instantly became serious. How much do you know? All of it, replied Naruto. I know that my dad sealed the Kyuubi in me and my mom is not in the village for some reason. Iruka was shocked. The 4th Hokage is your father? Yes. Don't tell me you didn't notice. Take away my whisker marks and I look just like him, Naruto answered. Iruka nodded. Who is your mother? Kushina Uzumaki. A shiver ran through Iruka's spine. You are the son of the Yellow Flash and Red Death. You will definitely become a monster. Naruto chuckled. Who told you all of this? Asked Hiruzen. What I am about to tell you can't be known by anyone outside this room. Not even the council. I will reveal it to them at a later date, said Naruto. Hiruzen nodded as Naruto continued. I was told about my heritage by my father. Hiruzen blinked once, twice, and there was a long moment of silence. What? Naruto. He is dead. How in the world could he talk to you? Said Iruka. Right before he died, he convinced the Shinigami to not take his soul and seal it inside me along with some of his chakra instead, replied Naruto. There was again silence in the room. Just take them to the mindscape, said Fu. Good idea, said Naruto. Iruka-sensei, go stand next to the old man. Iruka followed the instructions. Then Naruto walked up to them and put his hands on their shoulders as the girls grabbed onto him. Now everyone close your eyes, he said. Everyone closed their eyes, and when they opened it, they were in a large clearing with 3 houses in it and a forest surrounding it. There was a river flowing nearby and snow-covered mountains were in the distance. Where are we? Asked Iruka. We are in Fu and Naruto's mindscape, replied Hinata. 3 figures started walking out of the houses, towards them. The first one was a woman with long, blood-red hair and red, silted eyes in a long black gown. The second one was a man with blonde, spiky hair and blue eyes. He wore a standard Konoha Junin vest, blue pants and a long white cloak with red flames on the bottom. It had the kanji for 4 written on it. The third one was also a man. He wore a gray suit with a yellow shirt and an orange tie. He had messy, spiky hair that was a mix of green, yellow and orange. As the 3 got closer, Hiruzen and Iruka instantly froze. Minato. How are you here? And who are these 2? Asked a shocked Hiruzen Sarutobi. I believe introductions are in order, said Naruto. Gigi, Iruka-sensei. This is Kurama, my father, and Chome. Minato hugged Sarutobi and shook Iruka's hand. I have heard a lot about you, Iruka, said Minato. You are one of the only people who has treated my son properly, and for that, I thank you. Iruka smiled. I just did what any good person should have done. May I ask, how are you here, Lord 4th? Aren't you supposed to be dead? I had a feeling that the villagers would treat Naruto badly, so I convinced the Shinigami to seal my soul and some of my chakra inside Naruto along with Kurama instead of him taking my soul. He needed a father while growing up, replied Minato. Iruka nodded. Wait, that means Kurama is the Kyuubi? Asked Hiruzen. Yep. That is my title, replied Kurama. No offense, but I thought you would be a giant fox with a deep voice, destroying everything in your path, said Iruka. Kurama laughed. This is my human form, and I only keep the deep voice to scare away people so they don't bother me. And I didn't want to destroy your village. In fact, I held back, trying not to destroy your village. I was controlled by a masked man with a Sharingan. If I truly wanted to destroy the village, then I could have just Biju bombed the whole place in a matter of minutes. Iruka and Hiruzen nodded. Then they turned to Chomei. I am Chomei, or as you might know me, the Seven Tails. I was sealed inside Fu and Taki, a few years before she got transferred here. Fu and Naruto decided to combine their mindscapes with the help of a few seals so I could stay with Minato and Kurama and not get bored listening to Fu's perverted thoughts about Naruto and Hinata. You would be surprised to know how dirty-minded this girl is, said Chomei. Immediately, he got punched in the face by Fu. Idiot. I am not dirty-minded, she said. Oh yeah? Then what was it about you paralyzing Naruto with Hinata's poisons and then tying him naked to the bed while he is asleep and coming in the room with Hinata in nurse outfits, and he was cut off when he got punched again in the face by Fu. Just SHUTUP, she said as she and Hinata were bright red and Naruto was on the verge of fainting. The three other men were bleeding from their nose and had perverted grins on their faces while Kurama was laughing. Ahem. Naruto cleared his throat as everyone calmed down. Any more questions? He asked. How strong are you really? Asked Sarutobi. You could say I am Kage level while Hinata and Fu are Junin level. Hinata has mastered her water and lightning elements while Fu has mastered earth and wind, replied Naruto as he smirked. I have mastered all 5 elements and am a ninjutsu and kenjutsu expert while Hinata concentrates on healing and poisons. Fu and I are also level 10 seal masters. Sarutobi and Iruka's jaw dropped to the floor as they simultaneously asked, how? Well, Dad and Kurama have been training me ever since I was 5, and they also started training Fu, Hinata and me along with Chomei when we turned 7. 2 bijus and a cage sealed inside you does have advantages. Not to mention that we can create tons of shadow clones that speed up our training, replied Naruto as Sarutobi and Iruka nodded dumbly. Anything else you might be hiding from us? Asked Hiruzen. Of course, there still are many things, but I will not reveal them yet. Maybe at the Chunin exams. Hiruzen nodded. Also, you cannot tell any of this to the council just yet. I will reveal it to them later when the time is right, said Naruto as Hiruzen nodded again. Anything I can do for you for catching Mizuki? You will get a B rank mission pay, asked Hiruzen. Actually there is. Can you put Fu, Hinata and me on the same team? I know asking Big Bro Kakashi to be our sensei will be a stretch since the council would want him to teach the Uchiha, replied Naruto. Okay. That will be done. Now let's get out of here. We have our promotion to celebrate back at home, said Naruto as everybody exited the mindscape. The next day Naruto was peacefully sleeping in his room with his 2 princesses beside him when a knock was heard. Naruto groggily opened his eyes and made a shadow clone, telling it to see who was at the door. He smiled looking at his 2 beautiful girlfriends sleeping beside him. He had always wanted this. People to love him and live with him. Now he had it and he wouldn't trade it for anything. His clone dispersed and he got the memories from it. It was an Anbu that had come to inform him that he was requested to come to the council room along with Hinata and Fu in 1 hour. Naruto kissed both his girlfriends on the forehead. Hey, wake up, he whispered. We have to go to the council room in 1 hour. Wake up, it will be fun. The 2 girls slowly stirred. 5 more minutes, said Hinata. 5 more minutes, said Fu. Naruto got an idea. Hinata, Fu, wake up. We have to bully Hiashi in the civilian council, he said. Immediately the 2 girls shot out of the bed. Naruto chuckled as the 2 girls kissed him and dragged him into the shower. 1 hour later Naruto pushed the doors leading to the council room open as he, Fu and Hinata walked in. All eyes were on them. What? I got something on my face? Asked Naruto as Sarutobi chuckled. No Naruto. He said, Hiashi and the civilian council have called for this meeting and have asked for you to be present along with your girlfriends. Naruto nodded. So what's the special occasion? He asked as Kaharu, an elder, spoke up. We have received word that you were able to defeat the Uchiha prodigy in 10 seconds and you got a perfect score in everything in the academy graduation exam. Same goes for Hinata and Fu, who are clearly in a relationship with you. Not only that, but you know B-rank jutsus and the multi-shadow clone jutsu, which is an A-rank forbidden jutsu, for which you shouldn't have enough chakra to do, let alone create thousands of them. Mind telling us how? No, Naruto simply replied. No, we are the council. Answer the question, boy. Screeched a woman from the civilian council, named Mebuki Haruno. Geez, shut up. We don't want to go deaf, said Fu as she rubbed her ears. You are the civilian council. You are to only advise the Hokage in civilian matters. Me knowing jutsus is a shinobi matter, so I don't have to answer anything to you. I don't even know why you guys are even here. As for you, elder, your job is also to advise the Hokage, not question me. The only people I am obligated to answer is the TI department, the Shinobi Council and the Hokage. Nobody else, said Naruto, earning a chuckle from the Hokage. Inoichi looked impressed while Choza grinned and Shikaku just muttered, troublesome blondes. Hiyashi kept his calm demeanor but appeared a bit ticked off. Still, we would like to know how you, Fu and Hinata were able to do all that, said Shikaku as Naruto mentally cursed and Minato laughed in his mind. Naruto muttered something about stupid Naris and said, simple. We trained and hid our skills because the civilian council has problems with me and would do anything to hold me and anyone associated with me back. They still don't understand the difference between a sealing scroll and a kunai. The Shinobi Council nodded as Inoichi spoke up. That still doesn't explain how you were able to perform B-rank jutsus and make thousands of clones. You are forgetting Inoichi-san, said Naruto. Fu and I are Jinchurikis and have massive chakra reserves while Hinata has been training to increase her chakra reserves from 5 years. On top of that, I am an Uzumaki. A normal Uzumaki Chunin should have cage-level reserves. Add that up with being a Jinchuriki and you get a chakra monster. For knowing those jutsus, let's just say we have been receiving training from someone for many years. Can't tell you who just yet, but we have told the Hokage. Inoichi nodded. He and the girl are clearly possessed by the Kyuubi and Nanabi. There is no way a genin can do those things. I say we kill them before they get any stronger and destroy the village, said Mebuki Haruno. Didn't you hear what he just said? He said that we have been training for many years, said Hinata. Yeah. If we were the Bijus, then wouldn't we have just destroyed the village if we wanted to? And if you were so scared of us destroying the village, then shouldn't you have treated us better? Treating us bad would have only increased the chances of us wanting to destroy the village, said Fu. Why, you are lying. Why should we believe you demons? Said Mebuki. Naruto sighed. Fu, they don't understand words. Let's just show them, he said as Fu nodded. They went through hand signs and bit their thumb. They dropped some blood on the floor as the blood slowly turned into clones of Naruto and Fu. Then the clones went up in a puff of smoke and standing in place of them were a woman in a black gown and a man in a gray suit. Yo Hiruzen, can you give Fu one of the copies of your Icha Icha books? Said the man as he got punched in the head by Fu. Shut up, she said. Sarutobi chuckled. Not the time for that chome, he said as Shibi Aburame cleared his throat. Oh right, I forgot to introduce you guys. This is Kurama or the Kyuubi, the 9 tails, said Naruto as he pointed towards the woman. And this is Chome or the Nanabi, the 7 tails, he said as he pointed towards the man. Suddenly the room got tense. Why you released the demons? Now they will destroy the village, said Mebuki Haruno. Oh relax, we won't destroy this village, unless of course you hurt Naruto, Fu or Hinata and they let us lose, said Kurama. We aren't mindless beasts like you humans think we are. We have our own personalities and feelings. Besides, I didn't want to destroy this village 12 years ago. I was controlled by a masked man with a Sharingan. And don't even think of using that little Uchiha prick to do it. He will never be strong enough, and even if he was, it is impossible. Naruto has put anti-Sharingan seals on me. I can't be controlled again and nor can Chome, she said. It is true. Right before Minato died, he told me about the masked man controlling Kurama, said the old Hokage. Why, you are lying. You can't possibly be the Kyuubi. It was a giant fox full of malice, said Homura. Well, this is my human form. As for my malice, I don't have any since Naruto erased it all, but I can very well show you who I am, said Kurama. She then started to transform into a large orange fox, the size of Hinata, with 9 tails swinging behind it. Suddenly, the room filled with killer intent as all the people who were there 12 years ago on the day of the Kyuubi attack remembered the feeling. There was a puff of smoke and Kurama returned back to her human form as all the killer intent vanished. Remember that feeling? Look, I am sorry that I killed your loved ones and you hate me for that, but I wasn't in control of my actions and I did what I could. I tried resisting the genjutsu and fought back so only a quarter of the village was destroyed instead of the entire thing, said Kurama. Naruto, I am going back, she said as she burst into a puddle of blood which soon disappeared. I'll go check on her, said Chome as he also disappeared in a puddle of blood. She used to feel really bad about killing those people, you know, said Naruto. Used to? Asked Sume Inazaka. She still feels a bit bad about it but not nearly as much as before after she saw how the villagers treated me, replied Naruto.
Some of the civilian council members looked down in shame but the others remained the same.
Anything else you people might want to ask? Asked Naruto. Yes, there is, said Hiyashi Hyuga, the head of the Hyuga clan. Everyone raised an eyebrow. Well, what is it? Asked Naruto. I have been told that yesterday you performed one of the Hyuga clan's main branch techniques during the academy graduation exam. From where did you learn it? The 8 trigram 64 palms is supposed to be a secret clan technique, replied the Hyuga clan head, causing most of the people to gasp. My beautiful girlfriend taught me it of course, said Naruto as he grinned and pulled Hinata close to him. Hiyashi's face turned angry. How can this weakling teach you anything? She couldn't even do it before. Her younger sister was able to beat her. She is a failure. Hinata, Fu and Naruto burst out laughing. Oh Hiyashi, the only reason I lost to Hanabi was because I was too kind to hurt a little girl, especially my younger sister. And the reason I didn't do the 8 trigram 64 palms is not because I couldn't, it is because you didn't let me do it on training dummies. You made me do it on branch members but I refused to hurt someone for no reason. Also I don't have an affinity for earth like the rest of you Hyugas, so the Juken isn't really for me, said Hinata. Hiyashi was enraged. Still, how dare you teach our clan techniques to someone as unworthy as him? Naruto burst out laughing. You have no idea how ironical that statement is. Trust me Hiyashi, I don't need your stupid clan techniques or your stupid eyes to perform them. The only reason I used that technique was because I didn't want to show my own skills. And also I wanted to anger that Uchiha prick, he said. How dare you speak of Lord Uchiha that way, shouted a civilian. You call him Lord Uchiha yet he hasn't even activated the Sharingan. His brother Itachi was way better. He was a prodigy and wasn't arrogant about it, said Naruto. Forget about him. For leaking clan secrets, I hereby sentence you, Hinata Hyuga, to death, said Hiyashi as he made a hand sign and looked straight at Hinata, but nothing happened. Hinata started chuckling. You know father, you should be sent to prison for attempted murder of a Konoha shinobi. I am no longer a Hyuga so you have no rights over me, she said as she removed her headband. Hiyashi's eyes widened. How do you not have the cage bird seal? He said as everybody's eyes widened. Naruto removed it for me, Hinata replied as everyone looked at Naruto. What? He asked. I am good with seals and I had a feeling you would try something like this, Hiyashi, so I removed the seal. Besides, it didn't look good on her. Green doesn't really suit her, replied Naruto. How good are you exactly with seals? I know for a fact that even Jiraiya of the Sannin couldn't remove the cage bird seal, said Shikaku Nara, the head of the Nara clan. Fu smirked, Naruto and I are level 10 seal masters. Everybody's eyes widened. How? Even Jiraiya is only a level 8 seal master, said Shikaku. We got taught by someone very close to us, especially Naruto, said Fu. Don't be surprised. I am an Uzumaki after all, it runs in my blood, said Naruto smirking. May I ask who this person is? Said Shibi Aburame, the head of the Aburame clan. Now why would I tell you? Gigi knows and the council has no business knowing the skills and secrets of a mere genin. And to every member of this council, don't bother sending people to spy on us while we are training or to search my home. We train in areas that are totally secure with seals. Meaning no thing or person other than me, Hinata or Fu can enter the marked area. Heck you can't even see or hear anything inside it. All you will see is a large black cube. And there is nothing that is important to us that is kept in our house. If there is anything, then it is hidden safely and secure with blood and chakra seals, said Naruto with a smirk on his face. Here is inside, Naruto, you can go home now. Members of the Civilian Council, I suggest you think about what has been spoken today about Naruto's status as a Jinchuriki, and please don't get any absurd ideas. Naruto is completely stable and Kurama means no harm to the village. The person who you should hate is the masked Uchiha that controlled Kurama and caused the death of your loved ones and our beloved fourth Hokage, he said. Hiruzen snapped his fingers as two Anbus appeared beside him. Take Hiashi away to prison. Even though he is a clan head, he should know better than to try to kill a Konoha shinobi, he said as Hiashi frowned but went with the Anbus without resistance. After a while, everyone left the council room except Hiruzen, who sighed, I am too old for this shit. That evening in the prison, Hiashi was sitting in his cell with his head lowered when he heard footsteps. He looked up to see his one of the Hyuga elders standing in front of him. How did you end up here? Asked the elder. Hiashi clenched his teeth as he replied. Hinata taught Naruto Uzumaki the 8 trigram 64 palms and he was able to perform it perfectly in the academy graduation exams. I tried to get rid of her by using the cage bird seal, but it didn't work. It turns out that the Uzumaki boy is a seal master and was able to remove her seal. They then blamed me for trying to kill a Konoha shinobi as she is not a part of our clan anymore and I don't have any rights over her, he said. Said the elder, the Uzumaki, Hinata and the other girl, Fu, need to be taken care of, permanently. We can't risk them leaking clan secrets. Imagine they leak our clan techniques to other clans and civilians. The Hyuga clan will be doomed. Hiashi nodded. That night in Naruto's house, Naruto, Fu and Hinata were sleeping peacefully in Naruto's room while 3 men snuck into their house. Do you remember our orders? Asked the first man. Yes, replied the second man. Eliminate the demon and his whores and leave no traces related to us behind. Good, now let's get moving, said the third man as they quickly entered the house. They reached the room in which the 3 lovers were sleeping and looked down upon the sleeping bodies on the bed. This is too easy, said the first man as he threw out 3 kunai knives and threw them at the lovers. Just as the kunai hit their targets, the 3 sleeping on the bed burst into puffs of smoke and appeared behind the men. You both get the bitches. I'll handle the demon, said one of the assassins. The fights didn't last long. Fu easily slit the throat of her attacker while Hinata paralyzed and knocked out her opponent. Naruto was about to stab his opponent in the chest when something happened that he didn't expect. A 4th man appeared behind them and threw a kunai to the back of his and his girlfriend's heads. He didn't know what to do. He was quite fast, but the kunai had almost reached them and he knew he wasn't fast enough to save both his girls. Suddenly, his exogen activated, but it didn't stay like that for long. It slowly morphed, evolved, into something different. The outer part of his eyes had now turned black and had golden rings in them. His eyeballs had now turned golden and had a white, horizontal 8 or an infinity symbol in them, with a black slit running through the middle of it. Time seemed to slow down, till it stopped completely. Everybody and everything was frozen. Naruto decided to think about this later and used this time to quickly catch the kunai in mid-air and throw them down to the ground and slit the throat of his opponent and the new attacker. Suddenly, everybody and things started moving again. What just happened? Asked Fu. One moment we are about to be impaled by kunais and the next they are on the floor and your opponent and the new attacker are dead. That wasn't sheer speed now, was it? Asked Hinata. No, my exogen has evolved, and I think I just stopped time, replied Naruto. It seems interesting, hope you enjoyed, thanks for watching.